All right.
Roll them up.
Get your hands up. It's time for the check-in presented by Allstate. We are going to talk about the San Francisco 49ers in this check-in because Christian McCaffrey returned from double Achilles tendonitis. It was spreading. It was spreading in his legs.
Charlie, no. Trish McCaffrey said there's a lot of Instagram doctors out there. Don't be another Instagram doctor. It was totally fine that Christian McCaffrey had dual Achilles tendonitis and went to Germany to solve his problems. Nothing to be worried about at all.
Nothing to be worried about. Well, I think it assuaged some concerns maybe for the 49ers offense because despite the fact he had 13 carries for 39 yards, he was a safety valve in the passing game. 6 receptions for 68 yards in a 23-20 win where we saw some of the best football from Brock Purdy we've seen this season as the offense was unlocked. And begs the question, do the vibes for the 49ers, whose star receiver swiped their long snapper's throat today.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hold on.
Feel all good now that CMC is back.
You can't undercut us. You realize midway through the sentence.
No, this is written. This is written in the document.
Oh, okay. You already wrote this.
Yeah.
Man, I was getting excited.
I ate myself.
Charlie wrote that part in size 4 font. He wrote the Debo or wrote the non-Debo part in size 48 font.
I just saw Charlie throwing me an alley-oop, and then he pushes me out the way to go grab it out of the air and lay it up. Like, I was going to dunk it, Charlie, and you laid it up. No, the vibes are not better. Maybe because their star wide receiver was trying to choke their long snapper.
Long snapper.
The vibes are not great.
It's a long snapper.
I think it's encouraging to see him and what he does for the offense, but I will say one of the big issues with the 49ers offense was their effectiveness in the red zone. And Christian McCaffrey, we thought, and we've done breakdowns on here, how he will unlock their red zone offense. He hasn't done that yet. And I think that changes things. And we also can't talk about this game without mentioning how Baker held Joey Bosa with one arm. Nick Bosa with one arm. One of the Bosas with one arm and threw an incredible conversion. Anyway, Bill, what do you think?
About all that? That's a lot of stuff for me to talk about here. Okay, first and foremost, the vibes. Yes, vibes aren't great when your wide receiver is attacking multiple special teamers and then afterwards being like, it's okay, don't worry about it. This is a guy whose nickname is literally Debo after Debo from Friday. Like, it seems like it might be the wrong person to be getting into a fight with in the field, but this seems like a very easy problem. Like we talked about Caleb's problems and how you can't, replace the play call. You can't, totally change over the offense. You can get a new kicker real easy. You can get a new long snapper. It's not hard to get one of those guys. So I think those vibe problems are very easily fixed if you're the 49ers in the weeks to come. The red zone stuff, I feel like they're still trying to figure out what the offense looks like. I feel like because they've had so few of the playmakers on a weekly basis, it feels like they haven't had the ability to lock into what they want to do on offense, having all the pieces together, having the ability to call whatever they want. They had some near misses against the Bucs. I'm not that concerned about, kind of one bad red zone game with McCaffrey in the fold here. I think it's going to be fine in the big picture, but I do think the defense was a concern in this game. Yes, they were able to hold them off, but that final drive where the Niners could not stop committing penalties, they had, they gave the Bucs 4 first downs in 5 plays on penalties. I tweeted it would have resulted in a congressional investigation if this had happened to the Chiefs in a meaningful game. It was absolutely absurd. And so I just feel like we're looking at this team expecting them to dominate, and I don't know that they have that gear in them right now. I don't feel like McCaffrey was hoping that was going to be the thing that happened, where it took them from, okay, we are good most weeks, we're not great, not as great as we once were, but we're still pretty okay, to, we can just blow up teams. They don't feel like they can blow up teams right now.
That was always the 49ers defense has always been the kind of a second fiddle, I guess, to our love for their offense. But it's always since they've been good, this entire Shanahan run, the defense has been really great. In the last couple seasons, it has been kind of shaky. And this season, it feels like it's on the wrong side of shaky, which if the offense isn't going to take some major step and be as great as it once was, then this team feels like, which I mean, it's a conversation we've been having all year. It's like, is their window closed or is there barely open? But it feels like if their defense, and there's no reason, like there's hope for their offense. Like Christian's just coming back, figure out what they're going to do. Like, I don't know what the answer is to go back to a dominating defense, because they are one of these teams that was always led by their front and their linebacker. And the front isn't as good. Like Fred Warner is as good as he's ever been, but the front isn't as good as it was when they were dominating.
Bring back DeForest Buckner.
Oh my gosh. You and I were both wrong about what was it?
Javon Hargraves.
Yeah. I thought he was
hurt.
No, I just mean from the draft. And when he was healthy, he wasn't DeForest Buckner, which is a lot to ask.
True. They still haven't got Dre Greenlaw back. And it almost feels like that is the perennial thing for the Niners. Just wait till he comes back. Wait till that guy shows up.
That is a very 49ers thing to do.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like, I think that's a perfectly reasonable thing to hope for. But, like, not that the Chiefs are great, because I'm sure we'll talk about the Chiefs, and they're not a great football team either.
We'll get
there. But I just want to see this team blow people up. And I think my hope is Christian McCaffrey next week is better able to do that, and that the offense does look better. Because if they are clicking on all cylinders on offense, the defense frankly doesn't matter. Like, until we get to January, the defense will not matter for this team if the offense lives up to expectations. And I thought, actually, Brock Purdy played really well in this game, all things considered.
Well, they got the win, so that buys them a little bit more time, I think, to figure all these things out, and eventually, they're technically out of the playoffs right now, right? Like, I think their standings would put them outside.
Is that true?
Yeah, I know they were going into this game, so I guess I'm not sure where they were.
The Cardinals also won,
so they might still be out. Anyway, sorry, drop that dead fish on your lap.
No, I'm just looking at the standings, doing some good podcasting.
I'm sorry.
Still out of the playoffs. You're right.
For Charlie's beloved Washington Commanders.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting division down the stretch.
Right.